What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another deck profile here on TCG University for the card game UniVersus. My name's Tam, and today I'm going to be showing you Jeff's Ringman deck that he played for this week's Retro Round 3 Campus Championship. What is Retro? Great question. So, Jasco has decided that they want to do a big online tournament, and what Retro is the format that is the original Red Horizon set all the way up until our current standard legal set. There's a small ban list that we will link down in the description down below, but besides that, we here at TCG University want to arm the good people with all the decks that they could possibly potentially play, as well as decks that could be seen that you have to fight against. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump into Jeff's Ringman deck. All right, so Ringman, man, what a cool character, and also what a big blast for the past from me personally. If you haven't seen one of my deck profiles before, basically what I'm going to be doing is, as opposed to telling you what each card does individually, I'm going to be telling you more about how the whole deck wants to operate. And so what does Ringman want to do? Ringman is big on the number 2. The second attack that he plays is easy to play, and after you play your second attack, I get to draw an additional card. And so I want extra resources on my opponent's turn in order to make sure I can block and survive and sculpt out a cool kill turn. And then on my turn, I want to have a fairly big, long, stringy string attacks, and the second one's real easy to play. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump into the profile. So the first attack that we're going to be playing, and the first section I want to talk about, is the lead-in attack. So we're playing Triple Redemption. It shares all 3 symbols with Ringman, important later, and it says my next ranged or weapon attack gets +3 damage, which is great because the next one's going to get real easy to play. And then if it's completely blocked, it still deals 1, and so it's possible they just don't want to deal with this attack at all. Not to mention, it's got a really solid 0 mid block. Really fantastic card for everything that it wants to do inside of this deck. Up next, the next lead-in attack is 4 Curse Splat. This card's really crazy with Ringman because you play the Curse Splat as the first card, you commit an extra foundation or whatever, you build out a bunch of foundations, and then your next attack ignores progressive difficulty and has -3 difficulty. So you're playing these 5 diffs as a 2 diff, and it doesn't count towards progressive difficulty. So you will guarantee pass the next attack that you play. Really, really fantastic card inside of Ringman. Up next, this attack can be either a lead-in attack or the second attack, and we don't mind it either way. We've got 4 Wind Embrace. Shares all 3 symbols with Ringman once again. It's a 3/5 with out of block, so I do want to play it as much as I can on the turn that I have it because it does not have any sort of value as a block card in our hand. It says they lose extra vitality by discarding the top card. We don't care about that. We gain vitality. That matters a bunch because, you know, not dying is really cool. And randomly, it can be like a 9 damage attack because of Ringman. And it being having the throw keyword is really solid with it being a 9 damage attack. On to the last 2 attacks that we have. These are the attacks that we absolutely want to play second. We're trying to cheat these cards into progressive because they're such powerhouse cards. The first one is Guilty Throne, which is a 7 diff, gets reduced by 3 by Ringman, but with normally +1 progressive difficulty means it goes from an 8 diff down to a 5 diff. And so being able to play a Guilty Throne as the second card of my turn, draw 3 extra cards, stack the top of my deck to play whatever I want to, all, you know, on a check of 5 is really, really solid. Not to mention that it's a 7 mid for 10. This is a card that they have to respect inside of this deck, and that all enhanced draw 3 is so strong. It's so strong being able to just draw extra defense on to survive your opponent's next turn and then kill them with another big Ringman Guilty Throne play, or honestly just draw more attacks and then just accidentally kill them. Really good stuff. And then the bread and butter, the main reason this deck was played under life is for Spirit Shotgun. I keep mentioning that all of Ivy's cards share all 3 symbols with Ringman, and that is because being able to play your Spirit Shotgun late in the chain, like the best play that you could possibly do in this deck is play Curse Splat, commit 1 card, and say that your next attack, the next card you play knows progressive difficulty? Man, what a bad... that's totally not right. My apologies. You just say that your Spirit Shotgun gets -3 difficulty, which means if you play an attack and then a couple foundations, your Spirit Shotgun's on maybe like a 5 or a 6 is like the 4th or 5th card in your card pool. Really, really amazingly strong ability. Not to mention the fact that if you've played any of IV stuff, you're getting an extra 3 damage on your shotgun. It's a ranged card, and so with Redemption, it gets an extra 3 damage and an extra 3 damage off of Redemption. So we're already coming in. If it's just Redemption Shotgun, Redemption gives it 6, Shotgun gives it another 1. This thing is just an absolute monster to kill people. Up next, we've got our actions. I want to talk about Revoke first. In order to play these really big attacks, sometimes we have to just kind of raw dog these big monstrous attacks like the Ivy attack. Guilty Throne, excuse me. And in order to do that, means I have to build. And so the best part of this card, honestly, inside of this deck is not necessarily the response, but it might just be the first form, which is why I want to put it here. It's a really good flow card, and the fact that the disruption is the disruption response on it is so good is kind of icing on the cake. And then next we've got Triple Not Over Yet. This is the card that I was thinking of instead of the Curse Splat play. My apologies. I play the Curse Splat, or any card, and then I play Not Over Yet. I play out a big string of attacks and then play my shotgun, and it's on a 5-3. I knew that play was in here somewhere. But yeah, Not Over Yet is one of the staple cards inside of the retro format. This card is so good, and it is only going to get better the stronger that attacks are inside of the game. And so a ton of these old school, a ton of these new school attacks love to be played on a Not Over Yet. On to the assets. We've got Double Ivy Blade. This card is this card's really solid, just because I want to guarantee my next check, right? And so I will respond, lose my 2 vitality after I play a ranged weapon attack, which all of my cards are. Reveal the top card of my deck. It gets 2 speed. We don't necessarily care about that. I just want to pay 2 life to look at the top card of my deck. It's fantastic. Super good. In order to make sure that I can play my Guilty Throne on the 5 and I know that it passes. Or I play a Foundation that doesn't count as progressive or something along those lines in order to clear the bad check off the top of my deck and then potentially at Desperation draw or not have to commit as many resources. And the last asset that we're playing is one Omega Sword and Owl Shield. It makes blocking incredibly easy, especially whenever my opponent plays their second attack on the turn. I get to draw an extra, hopefully, block card. And then it just says that my attacks get a damage bonus equal to their printed block. And with things like Guilty Throne having a 3-block, Curse Splat gets an extra damage. I guess Redemption doesn't, and Shotgun gets 2. But like even just giving Guilty Throne plus 3 damage is enough to want to warrant having this card in the deck. On to the foundations. The first section of foundations I want to talk about are the aggressive foundations. So the first aggressive foundation we're playing is a Triple English Aristocrat. Basically what this card says inside of Ringman is I will commit this and guarantee that my second attack is going to hit. Hey, my Spirit Shotgun, it's going to touch you. This already 7-speed Guilty Throne, well, now it's actually a 10-speed Guilty Throne, and I'm just going to nuke you for your whole life total. Not to mention, gaining the vitality back is incredibly strong. Gain 3 on any card is just so good. To pair in tandem with the English Aristocrat and a little bit of Ringman, we've got 3 Confronting Jeddah. If the speed has been changed on this card, this attack, my attack, or your attack, I can use it once per turn and then give it plus or minus damage equal to the difference between its printed and current speed. And so giving it plus 4 speed off of English Aristocrat and Ringman, and then giving it an extra 4 damage off of Confronting Jeddah means that I might just close out the game. I'm throwing these everywhere. The next card that I want to talk about is Double Clever Strategist. I put this in the aggressive camp just because of the life enhance commit. If this is your second attack this turn, it gets plus 3 speed. It really pushes that big attack through. It's kind of like 2 more copies of English Aristocrat, but it has other job rolls where if it's my opponent's second attack this turn, I can give it minus 3 speed, or if it's my second attack, I can just draw a card. And so this comes in real big clutch with Guilty Throne, getting to stack cards on top of my deck. I can stack 2 attacks if I want to, and then just commit both my Clever Strategists and draw them both back up. It's just a really fun combo card to push my aggressive plays through. My last aggressive foundation that I have is Triple Friends and Rivals. This just commits out my opponent's board so I can make sure that my big 10 speed, 10 damage attack gets to push through. Every attack inside of the deck, I believe, except for Spirit Shotgun, yes, except for Spirit Shotgun, shares 2 symbols, or at least 2 symbols, excuse me. And so I'll play my first attack and commit 4 of their cards. Well, now they know that the big attack is coming later, and they're already 4 foundations down. It's going to get an extra. It's going to get extra speed. It's going to get extra damage, and now they can't deal with that second attack. They probably won't be able to deal with the first one in fear of dealing with the second one. Onto the flow cards, we've got One of Sun's Love, just first form. I get to increase my hand size. If you want a momentum, I'll get to be an 8-hander for the turn. That ability almost never happens, and we're only playing 1 reversal inside of the deck, and so the loose safe is fine, but it's just not why we're playing it. Up next, we're playing Double Passing the Torch. This card just says I get to draw an extra card. Really strong combo in the same vein with Clever Strategist. That's the name of the card? Yeah, Clever Strategist with Guilty Throne. Now, I'll stack these cards. I'll draw them. Up next, flow-wise, we've got Triple Coiling Contempt. This card is a foundation version of Ivy Blade. I'm just going to commit, reveal the top card of my deck, and make sure I can pass my next attack. As well as once I'm at Desperation, all my stuff gets +1 damage. It could be in the aggressive pile. This card is just really good everywhere on the board. It's a 5 check. It's a 3 mid-block, which isn't great, but it has Breaker 2, so it can end the turn. It feels really good on the board. It feels good in hand. It feels good on top of the deck. Just an all-around solid card. Up next, flow-wise, we've got Double Reborn Human. This card doesn't count as progressive to play attacks, and it says after an attack is dealt, you gain 1 vitality. So blocking with it means that all their attacks essentially have -1 damage as long as you are taking damage. And then it is really, really solid for these shotgun plays. It just is an extra 2 damage and doesn't count towards progressive. And so it says that Ringman's a little more potent. Passing checks is incredibly important, and so I want to make sure that I know the top card of my deck. Information is king. And so we're playing Triple Ore from Alchemist for the flip reveal the top card of my deck, and know what I'm going to play. Its response ability is fine. Fatality doesn't exist inside the retro format, and that's the main card removing things out of discard piles. But it also says that if my opponent makes me discard the top cards of my deck or something along those lines after I've checked it, I can just cancel it and then may draw 1 card depending on what I want to do. Up next, we've got Force Sense of Adventure. This is in here strictly for the shotgun plays. I'm going to play my shotgun as a second attack and then commit this and then shove another really good card into my card pool for even extra damage. Basically, what we're hoping for is this thing says commit +3 damage on a shotgun. In the same vein, we're playing Double Insect Puppeteer. This does say ready a foundation, ready this card for +2 damage because the only 4 damage attack that we're playing is Curse Splat. I was really hoping just to jump right to it. Hey, Curse Splat. It's the only 4 damage attack that we're playing, but we ready a foundation in order to toss it in. This card's really, really solid on defense because of the fact that Owl Shield exists. So I shove the Curse Splat into my card pool, I ready my Insect Puppeteer, and then Curse Splat does not count towards progressive difficulty when it comes to blocking. And so basically all I did was just ready a free card. Up next, we're playing Double Like Father Like Daughter, one of the old Chun-Li starter deck cards, and this card is really, really solid inside of this because of the fact that some foundations are so potent. One of the big ways to stop this deck from operating the way that we want it to is the card Caught Red-Handed. Caught Red-Handed and both Balance Fight are really, really solid. And so enhance commit if my attack speed is 6 or greater, I get to pick and seal one of my opponent's foundations. Guilty Throne starts at a base 6 speed, and any way that using things like English Aristocrat to pump this speed up means that I just take 1 extra enhance and then seal whatever the problem card is in their staging area. Onto a little defense. We've got Double High School Crush. Check a 4 -1 speed, and it's also possible hand advantage or at least knowledge what's on top of my deck. Maybe there's a Spirit Shotgun on top of my deck. My opponent doesn't attack me. Well, I know I'm going to draw a Spirit Shotgun. There's no reason to make a bunch of checks or whatnot. And then my last card, we'll call it a disruption card. It could be considered flow, is Triple Fueling Up. This card says after my opponent would reduce the damage of my attack, I cancel it. That's the main thing. I'm slinging my Guilty Thrones at like 10+ damage, and I need to make sure that that connects. And so if they play a thing to reduce the damage to 0 or deliverance it down, this is going to sit in my staging area and just stop their cool play. Just really disrupt whatever defense that they have. And so there you have it, Jeff's Ringman deck. If you like this deck and you want to play really big shotguns, let us know down in the comments down below. Maybe share your deck profile down your UFS Ultra link down in the description down below, or in the comments, excuse me. If you want to see more of these retro decks in action, make sure you check out the playlist that has all the profiles, as well as all the matches that we played. If you want to catch the matches live, you go out to twitch.tv/TCGUniversity, sub or follow out there, get the push notifications whenever we go live every Tuesday at 6. And then lastly, if you want to communicate with your really awesome Ringman deck, let us know by going out to patreon.com/TCGUniversity, sub out there at least the $1 level, get access to our Discord, where we would absolutely love to chit-chat with you about Ringman and all these other really awesome characters. So, from all of us here at TCG University, thank you very much for watching and stay